Your party, it was expected, had several issues to address during that NEC. Do you think, in your opinion, do you believe that those issues were sufficiently addressed? I'm talking about issues of alleged anti-party activities. I'm talking about suspicion of certain members of the party being run from outside, like former Governor of Benue State said. So do you suspect that you do believe that those issues were sufficiently addressed by NEC?
Well, thank you very much, Ortiz. Let me say to you that an organization like the political party is not a whimsical organization where people just wake up in the morning and do whatever they want. They have to follow their rules. The constitution of the party is very clear. Even those things that people expect, there are structured way the party allows that to happen. One of that is the NEC, and that NEC has taken place now. And if you look at what happened in that NEC, you have to really, really applaud the party, because I want Nigerians to understand one thing. It's okay for you to just be poo-pooing everything in the country, but you have to be a little bit broad-minded, intelligent enough to say, okay, what are they really trying to do, so that we can communicate instead of argue. You cannot suspend, you cannot discipline anybody until you set up a committee to look into it. That NEC did that, so the process has commenced. You cannot see people in the party having free now. People are angry, people are upset, people are talking. You need somebody to go and be in charge of reconciliation, to drill down, find out what's going on, and see how we can talk to people and get them to be a bit more reasonable with their opinions. That NEC did that. You want to return the chairmanship, the issue, because we have an acting chairman. So the conversation of how do we get the chairmanship to become settled, that conversation also took place. And they gave themselves another NEC date to go and review the issue. Part of the things that has to happen is that, well, there are two arguments on the table. My argument, it may not be the most popular, but I own my argument. My argument is call it a new convention, look at the entire gamut of the ESCO. There's no point calling the chairman, when you have other people that are really not pulling their weight. The publicity is really very flat-footed. What they call it, youth engagement is non-existent. So I felt that maybe this was a good opportunity to spend the next 2 years fixing the party. And for you to fix the party, I thought that was a good move, so that we can then work very hard on the party. And in 1 year's time, or 1.5 years' time, we can face the issue of who's going to be the presidential candidate. That's my position. That's why I'm running. But there's also another position on the table, which is equally very strong, which is that the last chairman, Yoshe Ayu, is from Benue State. I say it was removed by Benue. That thing was sent to the North Central. It's a little bit complicated for us to start a new zoning. Why don't you let us go and pick somebody from North Central to complete the term of the North Central man? That's fine. And that NEC also said, set up a committee to go and look at that. Let North Central go and discuss among themselves and come up with who they want to present. My argument there is that you can't be indulging bad behavior. Nobody removed Ayu. It was Benue people that got one of their sons, went to the court to remove Ayu.
It will be argued that your party didn't do the necessary in order to convince Nigerians, convince its teaming supporters, even those who don't support the party but are looking for an alternative to the APC, that the PDP is out for business as an opposition party. For instance, the issue of anti-party activities, nobody asked the PDP for anything that they did. What they did was to say, we have a list of members of the party who across the 36 states of the Federation, the FCT, who are engaged in anti-party activities, which resulted in the defeat of Atiku Abubakar. We're going to announce their names and read it out and all that. And that meeting finished. The NWC caucus, NEC, no list was announced. One of your members and House of Representatives member, Ikenga Imogo Chinyere, put out a tweet expressing his disgust at the fact that a serving minister in President Tinubu's cabinet attended a NEC meeting. Probably to say that the secrets of the people leaked out. So what do you say to this?
Okay.
Why was Wike allowed to?
Okay, listen. You see, you have to understand that organizations are not designed to scapegoat people. I'm not Wike's spokesman, and I'm not holding brief for him. But you can't scapegoat one individual. When you're talking about things that are as detailed as anti-party activity, you do not know the extent of document, the extent of accusation, the number of people that have been accused of the same of anti-party activities. And you cannot convict a person until the Constitution says he must be invited into a disciplinary committee, he must be properly accused, he must be given an opportunity for fair hearing. It's like saying that, oh, you caught a thief and you don't recognize that the law says he's innocent of the proven guilty and that he must be given the right to defend himself. These are protocols that Geneva Conventions and all decent organizations adhere to. No matter how angry people are about the Wike issue, because they are singling out Wike, what about the Otom issue? What about the Sheyi Makinde issue? What about all the other issues that people are mentioning, names of people who said they weren't going to do the party and did at the party? How do you then expect them to get to a NEC and be childish enough to just say, oh, we are suspending this or that on one human being without the other? So I'm saying to you, don't be shocked that the party is going through a detailed process. It will be interesting to see by the time the disciplinary committee comes back, whether they will come and tell PDP and Nigeria that they have no capacity to review the issues. And if anybody defends himself, it will be interesting to see for the Nigerians what that person will call his defense. You know what I mean? The wheel of justice sometimes grinds very slowly, painfully slowly, but it always grinds finely.
The point made by some members of your party, ranking members at that, is that a member of President Tinubu's cabinet should not have been allowed into your NEC meeting because he may leak your secrets out. The party should have been ruthless to that point. That
all right.
And then the individuals who, well, let's start from there. Yeah, let's start from there.
Okay, let me answer on that. Listen, the wicked situation is a very, very new scenario in our country. We've not really had it like that. It has happened in the past before. During the Shagari era, it happened like that. The set of government of national unity. During the Obasanjo PDP era, we gave the former Attorney General, the man that was killed in Ibadan, we gave him the opportunity to be as high as the Attorney General, and he's an AD man. We didn't accuse them of leaking secrets and all that. I think the thing is that because Wike is young, he's energetic, he likes to hug the media, that's why his own issue is a little bit coming up. But the only way to deal with it is to let him go through the ranks. And don't forget that in Wike's particular case, he kept screaming, I am a member of this party, I'm a member of this party. You can't rob him of his membership until you have put him through trial. You can't just wake up in the morning and somebody who claims he wrote his state caucus, they approved. He wrote his zonal caucus, they approved. He wrote his national NWC, they took notice of it. How? And look, and even as a court order that says, you can't even do this, you can't do that. So the best way around it is to be a little bit holistic. You can't be so sure that guy stole and then be so sure that the next thing is done with justice. And I'm not excusing the party. After all, I'm saying I want to be national chairman. I'm not indulging bad behavior. I'm not indulging in discipline. I'm not indulging duplicitous activities. I'm only saying that everybody that needed to be at that NEC was at that NEC.
This issue of anti-party activity was not discussed at all, was not mentioned at the NEC meeting. In that closed-door session, according to the Punch newspaper, they reliably gathered through a source of theirs that though Wike and Atiku were there, Wike remained silent throughout the closed-door session. And no NEC member discussed the events of the 2023 presidential election. That's the G5/Integrity Group versus Atiku Abubakar and the party, PDP. It wasn't mentioned at all.
It's okay. Let me say this. There are very unnamed source. Is not our NEC. A NEC is like a specialized meeting that has an agenda. What you normally will expect for you to get a good NEC, so that you know how the process, just for the purpose of educating Nigerians. You have our governors forum. It's not a statutory organ, but it's a respected, highly important organ. They have meetings. You have a DOT, very, very highly respected, recognized as statutory organ. They had a meeting. You have a national caucus, very, very highly respected members of the party. They had a meeting. If these issues did not trail out from those meetings and all the parties were there, they couldn't have gotten to NEC and then start, over flexing on what was not agreed up or discussed. So I suspect that setting up a disciplinary committee is to give the members of the party who are interested the opportunity to bring the petitions. The NEC could not have been a jury and a judge on the matter. So now they've told us this is the disciplinary committee. I think they said it's headed by Kimi. It is the responsibility of strong members of the party who are very sure, who can prove what they are asserting, to send the petitions there. Our duty is to wait. The PDP is living on what you call the skating of a cat on a very hot plate. You know, when a cat is skating on, like is stamping or doing tap dance on a hot plate, if you put his leg here, it will burn. Yeah. If you put his leg here, it will burn. So let us be patient with them.
All right. Okay.
Let us be patient. Let Nigerians say, oh, PDP, we saw how you did it. It was transparent. You opened it up. We saw the process. It's a work in progress, but we will want to see what your final decision is.
What do you think, or what do you expect the outcome of this disciplinary committee set up after that NEC meeting will be?
I've told them I had an interview on Channels TV, Politics, where I tried to say, if they want the head of John the Baptist, give the people. If they want that of Brutus, give them. If they want the stabbing of Caesar, stab him and give them. If they want even the head, because when they wanted even Jesus Christ, Pontius Pilate washed up his hand, but he gave them. I was speaking to them in a coded manner that you cannot run a political party of 25 years without due, taking into account the expectations of the citizens.